Today I'm going to explain how health, healing, and shields work. This video will be a bit more technical than my previous ones, and there won't be a fun build for you to try out at the end, but I promise it'll be worth it. Understanding how health works is a good basis to understand the rest of the game, and I want to explore more general concepts in my videos. First of all, what is health? Health is an indicator of how close to death your champion is. It is quantified by a number of health points, and if your champion's health drops to 0, you die. Every champion has an amount of base health, depending on their level, and can gain bonus health through items, runes, and abilities. Health is primarily lost through taking damage. Incoming damage can be reduced by armor and magic resistance, and recovered through healing effects. Health points have a gold value of 2.67 per point, or 8 gold per 3 points. Armor and magic resistance apply a multiplier to incoming damage, reducing it based on this formula. This increases your effective health, or the amount of damage you can take before dying, by 1% of your total health for each point of armor or magic resist. A champion with 1000 health and 100 armor can tank 2000 physical damage, which is 200% of what they could tank without any armor. Some champions use health as a resource, much like mana, spending current health to cast abilities. These champions tend to have inbuilt ways to regain health, like Zack's Blobs and Mundo's Heart Zapper. If the health cost for an ability is more than the champion's current health, they are set to 1 health instead of being killed. Some champions have abilities that grant them grey health, a representation of recently taken damage, which can be regained under certain conditions, such as leaving combat. Grey health does not act like regular health for any interactions. It is simply a visualization of health you can gain. Health can be restored in many ways, each of which interacts with certain effects. There are a lot of ways to heal damage and things that interact with healing, so I won't spend too long on each. Regeneration happens passively at all times, and is controlled by the health regeneration stat. Most items that grant the regeneration stat grant a percentage of your champion's base regen, valued at 3 gold for each percent. Healing effects from supportive abilities are very common among the support class. These effects add to the target's current health, but cannot go over the maximum. Lifesteal heals for a percentage of post-mitigation basic damage dealt. It doesn't have a penalty for AoE damage, so effects like Ravenous Hydra's Cleave apply at 100% effectiveness. Omnivamp heals for a percentage of all post-mitigation damage dealt. It is 100% effective for champion damage, and 20% effective for damage dealt to minions and monsters, making it great for champions with large AoE abilities. Spellvamp heals for a percentage of post-mitigation damage dealt by spells. It has an AoE reduction of 33%, working like the pre-Season 14 version of Omnivamp. It only exists on Lee Sin's Iron Will. Drain effects are effects that heal from combat. Some have AoE penalties, and can heal based on pre-mitigation or post-mitigation damage. Drain makes up most Vamp Against Champions effects, including Elixir of Wrath, and all benefit from heal and shield power. This table shows how each of these healing types interacts with other effects. Heal and shield power only affects heals you cause. Spirit Visage and Grievous Wounds affects all healing on yourself, but not heals you give others. And Revitalize's bonus healing is applied to everything except regeneration. Heal and shield power, Spirit Visage, and Revitalize all stack multiplicatively, so you should be taking several of these effects at the same time for more value. Compared to additive stacking, multiplicative stacking is much more efficient. This is how Moonstone Mordekaiser used to work before they removed self-healing from the item. Unlike the other effects, Grievous Wounds does not stack with multiple instances of itself, though multiple applications will refresh the duration of the debuff. Building multiple items that grant Grievous Wounds is inefficient and hardly ever worth doing, since most Grievous Wounds items are only desirable for that effect. Some champions have Grievous Wounds built into their abilities, like Katarina's Death Lotus and Cled's Bear Trap on a Rope. Shields provide temporary health, tanking incoming damage and protecting your health bar. Shields on you benefit from your armor and magic resistance, and shields you create are strengthened by your heal and shield power. Incoming damage is absorbed by the shield expiring the soonest, except for Camille's adaptive defenses and Morgana's black shield, which are prioritized above all others. Most shields absorb all damage types, with a few shields that block specific damage types. Shield Reaver is a debuff that reduces shielding on enemies. It acts similarly to how Grievous Wounds works on healing. When it is applied, all shields the target has are reduced by a percentage, and for the duration of the debuff, any new shields the target gains are also reduced. Currently, Shield Reaver is only applied by Serpent's Fang, an assassin item. This video was inspired in large part by Deep League. Deep League was a channel that made the original mathematically correct set, as well as some other theory crafting builds. They published a video about damage types, which I still regard as a fantastic resource for anyone who's interested. It's been 2 years since that video, and they haven't uploaded any League content since then, so unfortunately it looks like they've quit content creation. This video talking about health and shields is a follow-up of sorts to Deep League's. They talked about damage types, so it seemed fitting to talk about the thing taking the damage. Thank you to those of you who made it to the end. I've been thinking about making a more general video for a while now, instead of the builds and strategies I've done in the past. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope you all found it enjoyable, despite the slightly boring subject matter. With the crit item rework and the removal of Sheen from Essence Reaver, my last video has now become obsolete, or at least less accurate. It's unfortunate, but that's how things go, I guess. It won't stop me putting out theory crafting videos though. Thanks again for watching.